you looking up tonight? Mulling under the moonlight. Never thought to let it go. Soul searching out of your window. Days, never sleep unless your head's by mine. Holding on to what we call divine. Do you think we're running out of time? Too late to stay, too dark for you to head home. Lay here with me, we'll watch another episode. Don't say goodnight. Stay by my side. Daylight rushes in over your emerald eyes. Guess that means that we're all out of time. Like a dream, you only come out at night. Am I crazy? Watch the sun as it's fading. Can't believe I'm waiting around on you. So complicated. I thought that you would leave it, yet here we are under the moon. Too late to stay, too dark for you to head home. Lay here with me, we'll watch another episode. Don't say goodnight. Stay by my side. Too late to stay, too dark for you to head home. Lay here with me, we'll watch another episode. Don't say goodnight. Stay by my side. Too late to stay, too dark for you to head home. Lay here with me, we'll watch another episode. Don't say goodnight. Stay by my side.
Hello. 2 emergency meetings in the space of 2 days, from doing none of them, because there's never really been an emergency, to wherever the hell this bullshit has been over the past week, I suppose. Guys, welcome to the channel. Another emergency meeting. Donnarumma makes Nobbins lose sanity? Question mark. What is going on? Just realised my fan's not turned on. Yeah, exactly. These are frauds. Well, normally it's the fraud alert siren klaxon from the purge, but this is even worse. So it's quite extreme. You might be able to hear that fan. I'll just turn that down a little bit. Just a little bit. Right. Oi, these are pajamas. Hello. Listen to that. Right. The first thing that I want to say, in case you don't know, City have now been linked with Donnarumma. That's the first thing to say. That's the first thing to say. Mad Hatter, I'm gonna... Okay, first of all, Mad Hatter, stop commenting in all fucking caps, because it pisses me off. That's the first thing to note. I'm not having a go. Stop doing it in all caps, because that's the comment I see, and then that's all I'm fucking seeing. Lowercase exists. Inside voice. That's better. None of this all caps all the fucking time. Right. What was I trying to say? Yeah, in case you don't know, City are linked with Donnarumma. Blah, 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 blah. In fact, what's the official post by Fabrizio Romano or whoever it is? Where's the official post? Where is it? Here it is. Galatasaray have made direct approach with Manchester City for Ederson as their main target for goalkeeper. Donnarumma option never seems concrete with Galatasaray focused on Ederson. Talks ongoing on both club and player side. It could be key for City pursuing Donnarumma. And then before that, City made contact with PSG to ask for Donnarumma deal conditions. Current PSG request around 50 million euros, deemed too high, and deal would only be possible if Ederson leaves. Chelsea not in the race. And then it would be interesting, and even like days before then, you know, Pep Guardiola remains a big admirer of Donnarumma, despite City's recent signing of Trafford, who we will get into. And then, can I find the thing that PSG said about Donnarumma as well, just so we have all the context? Because I know that they didn't include him in their squad for the UEFA Super Cup. Now my Twitter is just like, it's just spinning. Brilliant. So I can't actually see what PSG said about that. Yeah, so if someone, oh, there you go, it's loaded. If someone can like find me like what it was PSG said, let me know. That would be great. I can't seem to find it. I'm sure like PSG said, you know, we don't want to give you the money that you want, blah 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 blah. I can't find it now. I can't find it, but I'm sure that's what was said, that Donnarumma wants a certain amount of money. PSG aren't willing to do it. Oh, Grealish just completed, FYI. Just got a notification from The Athletic. I can't find it, but yeah. So that's the state of play. Yeah, Grealish to Everton confirmed. That's not interesting. We already knew that was going to happen. Right. Allow me to outline my confusion in the first instance. Let's park everything to one side. RE, the goalkeepers we already have. Let's park that to one side. Oh, here we go. Donnarumma wants around 250k a week. PSG were only willing to pay around 100k. Amazing stuff. Brilliant. So he's actually asking more money than PSG, who pay the most wages in world football. Even they deem it's excessive. So that's good. That's promising. Actually, no, that's what I was going to say. Before I even do that, the first thing I'm going to say is this. I think that this is bollocks. Maybe I should just end the stream there. I think that this is not true. I'm totally willing to be proven wrong, obviously. I don't think that these links are legitimate. In fact, there was something really interesting. Oh, it's gone. What was it? By 9320. City's former head of comms has just moved to Pimenta's agency to look after comms for them, and Donnarumma's agent is Rafe. Is that person. So the first thing I'm going to say is that I actually don't think that this is legitimate. I'm still going to talk about it. I'm not going to poo-poo it because, you know, Romano's coming out with it, blah, 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 blah. But I think that it seems to me, because we'll get into it, it makes such little sense. It makes such little sense that I can only conclude that it isn't legit and isn't going to happen. As I say, we'll get into why I don't think it makes much sense. But I'm still going to talk about it because people are asking about it. And people are asking my thoughts on it. So I'm going to do that. Big up to you, Omar. Fabrice Hawkins is the most reliable French journal. I'm not saying that the story isn't true. I'm saying that I suspect that it's being pushed more so from like the players' side rather than ours. That's my prediction. That's my, maybe that's copium. I don't know. But that's the first thing I'm going to say, is that I don't think this will happen. If it does, then God help us all. But as I said, I'm still going to talk about it. So why am I clearly upset at this as a potential link? I'm going to park for one moment. For one moment, I'm going to park the context of the other goalkeepers for a moment. We'll get into that because they will become relevant. For right now, let's only focus on Donnarumma. Let's pretend City have no goalkeepers. Let's pretend we have no goalkeepers at the club. Don't even get me started on the fact that we're trying to sort out winger and goalkeeper when we haven't got fucking right back. Don't even get me started on that. Thank you, Jace, for the super chat. Donnarumma is better on the ball than he used to be. 10 times 0 is 0. The build-up will have to be tweaked. Great shot stopper, Rip Trafford succession plan. And there's a lot going on there, which we will discuss. Absolutely, JS. Thank you for your super chats. Very much appreciated, matey. I love the support as always. Thank you all. Yeah, so for a moment, let's pretend City have no goalkeepers at the club. So I'm not even going to talk about how it impacts other players for now. I will do. But until then, let's start with just Donnarumma on his own. When I was discussing Trafford a few weeks ago, and I know I'm not going to talk about other goalkeepers, but bear with me. When I touched on Trafford a few weeks ago and someone asked me, what's his distribution like? The spectrum that I used was if you've got Ederson as like the best ball-playing goalkeeper in the world. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got Donnarumma. Now, I placed Trafford wherever I did. Now, that should go to show how extreme this would be as a potential signing. It is the exact opposite of the spectrum in respect of the ball-playing ability. That's why it's a very confusing move if it were to happen. Because the philosophy of Guardiola, and by extension City, is that every single player needs to be able to contribute in terms of build-up play. That is a fundamental of how we have played every single season under Pep. That is how we won all our titles. That's how we won the treble. That's what has made City a great success. Yeah, his Butterfingers. Yeah, I just dropped my remote. I'm messing around with it. That's how we do it, and it's not just the goalkeeper. It's also the midfielders. It's also the fullbacks. It's also the centre backs. This is why it's important that when City go for a midfielder, they obviously have to be very good on the ball. They have to be good at building out from the back. If they're a deeper midfielder, if they are a defender, they also need to be comfortable on the ball as well. Again, fullback. This is where Nunes is a bit of a question mark for some people, myself included to an extent. So to go from that to that is something that I can't rationalize. Because it's all well and good. If I'm talking garbage, Anthony, here's the thing you can do, mate. Just turn the stream off. You don't have to watch me. It's fine. If I think someone's talking shit, I wouldn't watch them. So just turn off, matey. You don't have to listen. It's fine. Don't know if you're aware of that. You don't have to listen. So it's one extreme to the other. And again, I can't really rationalize how City can go about continuing that philosophy of, playing out from the back and being a possession-based side when you've got a player who can't do that. It's very confusing to me. This is furthered when one considers that there is a very distinct possibility next season that we're actually going to build up with a 2 and a 2-3 rather than a 3-2. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that you are going to lose a player from the build-up. So that means, if anything, there's going to be even more pressure on the goalkeeper to be able to be competent on the ball if we are going from a 3 to a 2. So that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me at all. What's interesting is that I think that lots of people have sort of forgotten one of City's biggest weapons in respect of breaking an opponent's press. And it has always been that ability to play out from the back and be competent. You'll find a lot of teams, I mean, a lot of teams have actually gone on record and said it, that they have actually stopped bothering to press City because they know that it is futile. Because they know that they aren't going to get the ball back. So instead, they don't bother. Now, whether you like that concept, whether you like the concept of a ball-playing keeper or not, and I'd assume that you should, because it has, you know, worked quite a lot for us. I forgot what I was saying there. My brain's gone. What am I trying to say? Yes, whether you liked Edison or not, the reality is that that is a big weapon, or rather, what am I trying to say here? It will be very interesting to see how City fans will react if we have a goalkeeper who can't play out from the back, because the opponents will play very differently against us. They'll play very differently against us in respect of actually bothering to press. Now, you can turn that on its head and go, well, if they're going to press us out a bit more, is that a good thing? And maybe there is an argument for that. Because there have been lots of games, no, I'll get to that in a moment, because that's an interesting point, but which I think I will still refute. Yeah, so there will be more instances, and we don't even need, I was going to say imagine it, but we actually don't need to imagine it. Because we've seen it when Ortega starts for City. I think the best example, because it's the one, I'm sure there are many, many more, but this is the one that springs to my mind. Anfield, 23-24, Ederson got injured. Ortega came on. I mean, we set up shit that game anyway, so, and we should have lost that game anyway, but, you know, I'm illustrating a point here. Lots of people were very quick to applaud, you know, a couple of the saves that Ortega made in that game. Ortega wouldn't have had to have made those saves if his ball playing was better. Because if you go back and watch that second half in particular, I'm not suggesting you do so, but if you want to know exactly what I'm talking about here, if you go back and watch that second half against Liverpool in 2024, and those saves especially, they come from Ortega being unable to play out from the back and giving the ball away and hoofing it up just to a Liverpool player because he can't hack the pressure. And he doesn't feel confident enough to play out from the back, so he just hoofs it. And that leads to a shot. And as I say, people were quick to applaud the fact that he saved the shot, which is fine, but that shot should never have happened in the first place. It only happened because of his poor distribution. Now, take that to the nth degree. Crank that shit up to 11. Because Ortega is a far better on-ball goalkeeper than Donnarumma. A far better on-ball goalkeeper. And I don't think Ortega is a good on-ball goalkeeper, by the way. I've long said how I don't think he's good enough to start for City, based on that fact. So Donnarumma is actually worse than him, and that is not in dispute. I'm really hopeful that we can all come to terms with that and agree with that. Based on the player they are now, who knows? Maybe Pep will whip out some, the secret stuff like in Space Jam, the original, and it'll give it to Donnarumma, and all of a sudden he'll have fucking Victor Valdez feet. I don't know, but that is an indisputable fact. So, as I say, I'm hoping we can all agree on that. Let me go back to the pressing argument of, well, but Nobbins, you said earlier that if the opponent's going to press a bit more, then that means that they're going to come out a bit more. And we've seen, and we have seen when teams do that. One of the best examples is that treble year where Arsenal tried to do it at the Etihad, and Ederson just went long. Or was it Ederson at Emirates? I can't recall. Anyway, it was against Arsenal, and it may have been both games. Arsenal came out, they pressed really high. Ederson just punted it up, to like Haaland, a second ball, and we score a goal from it. Or we easily evade their press and their pressure, that sort of thing. So yes, absolutely. And you could say, well, again, if they're going to press more, that means there's more opportunities for that. So maybe we can do that. But the problem with that, though, is that it's not an arbitrary hoof that our goalkeeper does in that moment. It's a calculated long ball that is done by a goalkeeper who is aiming for their teammates. Ederson can do that because of how good he is on ball. Donnarumma cannot do that. Certainly not to the same consistent degree anyway. So I've actually hopefully debunked that thing, which I just thought of myself. I was trying to rationalize it. Well, how could it work? But actually, if you turn into just hoofball, try to win the second ball, I don't know why we would turn into that in the first instance. But secondly, the only reason it really works is because of how good the goalkeeper is in those instances. Because he's able to do that. Because he looks up and he can see it. He's not just punting it up for the sake of punting it up. He's got a very powerful kick and more importantly, a very accurate kick. And Donnarumma does not have that in his arsenal. And if you think he does, then there's nothing I can say other than that you're wrong, because he doesn't. So every single positive from that will be lost if it does happen. All I can see when the opposition well, they don't even have to learn, they'll just do it immediately, won't they? Because they'll realise that threat's no longer there anymore. And they will just press us really intensely from the back. That our build-up play will suffer. It wouldn't surprise me if the defenders just didn't trust Donnarumma. You see, for PSG, their players barely ever pass back to him because they know that he can't do it. So it's a massive tool in City's arsenal. That's just gone all of a sudden. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because again, it's a big tool, and it helped us win league titles, helped us win the treble. I'm not going to say like it creates fear in the enemy, but it certainly makes them question whether they should even bother to press, which takes a massive weapon away from the enemy. The enemy? The opponent. It's not like this is a war or something. The enemy. Yeah. Donnarumma, a serial Champions League winner. Which idiot has said that? Hello? With his one Champions League that he won last season, and immediately the club want rid of him. What a serial Champions League winner he is. What's going on there? Hello? Which idiot said that? Anyway. So it's, yes. It's very, and it's also annoying. It's also annoying that PSG have signed my dream goalkeeper in Chevalier. Now, I don't know obviously we don't know the full ins and outs of it. It may well just be that PSG wanted to keep Donnarumma, but they weren't willing to match the fee. Now, that's an interesting one. Or is it just that Chevalier fundamentally matches Enrique's philosophy a little bit more? Like, that would make a bit more sense to me. I can't believe we didn't I can't believe that we just didn't end up going for Chevalier. Anthony, if it was you that said Donnarumma's a serial Champions League winner, I don't know what to say other than, like, that's objectively incorrect. If you were indeed the one who said it. I don't even know if you said it. Someone said, since when's Donnarumma a serial Champions League winner? He clearly isn't. Like, that's not even up for debate. That's objective. We're surely not going to debate that, are we? We can surely accept that's a false thing to say, can't we? Oh, why is it wearing my butterfingers? I don't know what's going on, chat. This week's made me lose my mind, and I guess other people as well. No way, A007, no shot. Right. So that's just in a vacuum. I will come to the chat properly in a moment. I just need to brain dump a little bit. So that's in a vacuum. And to me, that makes no sense, because if you could find me the least Pep Guardiola... Okay, we're going to have to fact check this. I said Rodrigo is serial. Okay, we're going to have to go back and fact check. Rodrigo and Donnarumma serial Champions League winners. Anthony, hold the L, my petal. Hold the L. You did not just say Rodrigo. You said Donnarumma. Rodrigo and Donnarumma serial Champions League winners, plural. Come on, mate. Just hold the L and move on. So we can all move on with our pathetic lives, yeah? That's Edison in a vacuum. Sorry, that's Donnarumma in a vacuum. Let's now touch on context, shall we? Playing with words. Mate, they're your words! What do you mean playing with words? It's literally what you said, my man. You said it. What do you mean? They're your words. I'm not playing with words. I'm saying this is what you said. What is happening? The brain rot from, like, the brain rot in this chat is absolutely insane, man. It's absolutely insane. I don't know why I went all Sean Connery. The issue is, Benedict, I don't think it is rage bait. I think these people believe what they're saying. What is going on? Rage masturbators. Yeah, crazy. Crazy. Did you get timed out? Good, to be honest. Good work by mods. Yeah, he must be a bot at that point. Christ. One more. We're being a lot harsher with idiots. One more idiotic thing to say from you, Anthony F, and I'll just get a mod to ban you, because I'm trying to purge a lot of the idiots from this channel. You know, we want a higher quality of viewer over on the LNobbins channel. So if you want to get purged, say another dumb thing, please. Yeah, so I'll repeat. I keep getting sidetracked. That's him in a vacuum. Now, let's add in the context. Let's add the context, because I know people are asking, well, what would you do, Nobbins? First of all, it's not for me to say, you know, just, I mean, I do have an answer, or did rather, but if I didn't have an answer, then that wouldn't mean that it's not a valid thing to be concerned about that. Have a neutral narrative. What has been not neutral about everything I've said? I've not gone, I think that Donnarumma's shit and I just hate him for no reason. I have quite clearly, in my opinion, succinctly, dare I say, intelligently, outlined my concerns with Donnarumma. In what world is that not neutral? If I think a signing is good for City, I'll say they're good for City, like Reinders. If I don't think a player is a good signing for City, I will say I don't think they're a good signing. That is the definition of being neutral. There is no way that you are a real functioning human being. There is no way. Jack, I'm going to give you license to decide whether you want to ban him if he says another mental thing, because this is insane. This is insane to me. Right, okay, yeah, Jack, just do it, mate. Just do it. I don't care who does it. Just do it now, because I can't believe there's no way you've watched any PSG. There is no way. There is no shot on this planet. I refuse to believe it. Please get away from my channel permanently. Jack Spartacus, I don't really give a toss who it is. Someone. This rage bait. Again, I don't think it is rage bait. I think he believes it. I think he believes it. Yeah, you had your chance, and there you go. You're gone. You're barred. You're barred. Goodbye. We will not miss you. We're after a higher standard of viewer on this channel, guys. If you can't reach that standard, you're banned. Yeah? You're banned. So tread carefully. Yeah? Aim for the stars, guys. Reach for the stars. Aim higher. Don't be like Anthony F, who's a massive idiot. In fact, I don't know if we can we get that, in fact, Jack, can you, like, DM me in the Discord, like, what he said or something? At the end of the stream, can you, like, go, I can do that, actually. I'll go back, because he would have said, that's getting in the Hall of Shame, and we will do a fraud siren, and that's the case, yeah? Jay Fresh, he said that Donnarumma's a serial Champions League winner and wasn't willing to go back on that. He said I was manipulating his words. Jay Fresh TV. I don't know if you had just arrived. That's not what I'm saying. Get with the program, please. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Right. Yeah, so I've been trying to make this point for about 5 to 10 minutes, but I keep getting sidetracked. That is Donnarumma in a vacuum. That's why I don't think he makes any sense for City. His ball playing, if in respect of like goalkeepers who are at like that high level, whatever, I think he is the worst. And we know that we are a club who is the opposite of that. So that makes zero sense to me. That makes zero sense to me. Now, let's add the context, shall we? Let's add the context. Massive NPC energy here, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Once again, I don't think it will happen. I don't think it will happen. But let's say that it does. Again, let's just do that again. Let's say that it does. What's the point of Trafford then? Like, we've signed him clearly to be the #1 goalkeeper, like, next season. Probably not this season, because, again, we assumed that Ederson was going to stay. But one would assume that Ederson would leave, Trafford would naturally transition, and that would be the end of it. Arian, if you keep, like, spamming, then you're going to get banned. Petal, please stop. Please stop with the spam. So, yeah, so I don't get where this leaves Trafford. Because he was clearly being brought in to be the #1. Like, he wouldn't come to City unless he was sort of like given a timeline of, yes, we're signing you to be the #1. And Sam, and this is interesting because I actually don't necessarily disagree with this. I don't necessarily disagree with this. Trafford's not ready to be the #1, which is why it made a lot of sense to keep Ederson for a season, give Trafford those games, see how he performs, and in an ideal world, he would obviously be ready, and he would then naturally take the mantle from Ederson next season when Ederson leaves. So I'm sure that it wouldn't have mattered that Trafford wasn't going to be the #1 next season. Because he knows full well that Ederson's leaving, naturally. And that makes sense, because again, Ederson's leaving next summer. We all know that. But now you introduce a situation where, again, we're assuming this, where Donnarumma comes in for Ederson. There is now no pathway. Because, obviously, if you sign Donnarumma, you sign him to be the #1. You sign him to be the #1, clearly. Donnarumma is not an old goalkeeper. He's actually, in relative terms, a young goalkeeper. He's 26. This is not a situation where Trafford hangs around for a few years, Donnarumma leaves, and he potentially takes the mantle, if we were to sign Donnarumma. This is a case of, no, Donnarumma is the number one, and you are the backup. And he clearly was not signed to be that. So that is shit squad building. If it were to happen. You sign a player, seemingly, to have that transition to become the number one goalkeeper, with a natural transition with Ederson leaving. And then a couple weeks later, you abandon that entirely, and you say, no, actually, you're not going to be the number one. And so he's going to leave, isn't he? So that makes no fucking sense to me. You only have to look at Trafford's comments, like when he was in the academy, when he was playing for Burnley, when he was leaving to Burnley, and indeed when he signed for City. He wants to be England's number one. He wants to be City's number one. He's not coming here. He's not coming here to dick around on the bench and have that England number one mantle taken from him, or not even start. Thank you, Damiola. Big up to you. Just did a random super chat. Thank you, mate. Someone rationalise that for me. Someone please help me out here. Rationalise it for me. What if that does happen? What are we doing? Because now all of us, because again, if you sign Donnarumma, and again, this is rumours, this is Fabrizio Romano, whatever. PSG were not willing to pay him the wages he wanted. So City are going to be paying him mental wages if he were to sign for us. So there is no world where it's like, oh, Trafford and Donnarumma will battle it out for the number one spot. No. Donnarumma will be the number one. The wages will determine that. So there is not an argument of, well, just let them battle it out and see who does better. Nah. Your backup goalkeeper cannot be on a salary that even PSG felt was too high. That is mental. So that can't be a potential way to rationalise it. So the starting point has to be, if it happened, Donnarumma's the number one, and that's the end of it. And that's the end of it. Please, someone help me. I'm being genuine. And this is what I mean. This is me being neutral. I don't understand it. I'm trying really hard to understand it. I always try to do that. I always try. Because things are done for a reason. They're not done arbitrarily or for vibes. So why? What is the logic here? What is the thought process? I'm going to come to the chat now. Please help me out. Trafford has a serious change to complete versus... I think Trafford has a serious chance to compete versus Donnarumma or make him better. But again, the problem is, Mateus, that it's not going to be a situation of Trafford competing with Donnarumma. You've got to start Donnarumma if he's on a salary that PSG were not willing to pay. Who are the highest... They have the highest salary, the highest wage bill in all of Europe. Maybe even the world, probably. I don't know what the Saudi situation is, but certainly in Europe, if you look at the UEFA reports, they're well up there, and it's not even really close. And again, they've deemed Donnarumma's demands to be too high. I don't get it. Lots of people are. I've seen lots of people say he's a name. Lots of people say he's a name, but I don't care about a name. I care about a player that fits. This cannot happen to Sam. It's baffling. If Trafford wants to be number one, fight for it. But he can't fight for it, John, because he's never gonna depose Donnarumma. That it won't happen. It's not going to happen, is it? I'm all out of ideas. Well, if you're out of ideas, Sparta, because I don't know what to say. Once it's meant to be cutting down on wages, I don't know. Our stars, again, like you can't. You don't create like a competitive environment. This is maybe the one position in all of football where you don't do that. You always have, you're the number one and you're the number two. It's a clear hierarchy of this is that and you are that, and we all know what's going on. Now, across a season, if there's like a word where the number one's underperforming, the number two, takes his chain or whatever people say, whatever, then maybe that's a different conversation, and there can then be a transition. But like, name the Premier League side that won the Premier League with two goalkeepers battling it out for top spot. It's not a thing. Liverpool, like, okay, Kelleher played a lot when Alisson was injured, but ultimately Alisson came back, Alisson started. This is why I didn't really get the whole Raya Ramsdale situation. And Arsenal fans were saying they're gonna battle out for number one. That's never gonna work. It's never happened in Premier League history. You can't. It was a rhetorical question. You can't name me a time when a Premier League side has won the league and they've had this situation with two goalkeepers battling it out. It was a cheeky rhetorical question. It doesn't happen. We won't win the title if the idea is that we're going to sign two goalkeepers and then we'll chop and change, and it's like we'll chop and change. You go, well, you were good there, so we're going to give you a chance here. No, you need your designated number one and number two. Surely that's the one position where it's established, because goalkeepers are a very different position to everyone else. You don't, as I say, you don't want to be chopping and changing. You want your starting goalkeeper to start like at least 30 games in the league, bar any injuries. So it can't, to me, it can't be a case of competition. It can't be. Help me, guys, help me. Fenway, what the hell, mate? Nice profile picture, mate. Love that from you. Feels like a post-Pep signing. But Pep's here for another 2 years. Surely the club has been built on, and not just the first team, the academy as well, has been built on the concept of Guardiola's philosophy. There is surely no way that even post-Pep we are going to throw all of that out of the window and abandon all reason, abandon that, and just go to something else. That would make no sense, because the club has been built for this. Surely you stick with the philosophy that the whole club is being governed under. Over, one of them. I don't know if there is. Exactly. Yeah. In year of Trafford being benched for Ederson, we'll be right where we started. In year of Trafford being benched for Ederson. But again, Herb, I guess the difference is that the reason why I don't mind that is because there is this opportunity for a transition and giving him the chance to be that number one. And if he's not good enough, then at that point you say, right, you're clearly not good enough. But this just seems to be like shooting the horse before it's even left its starting point. We're not even giving this horse a chance to run. We're just going, nah, you're not going to do it. Bang. In the head. Dead. Nail gun. Blood everywhere. All of my white apron. Exactly. That's the one position where you don't battle it out. Doesn't make sense. You need to build a connection with your centre-backs, and the defence need a stable figure behind them. Indeed. I agree. Arsenal win it with Raya Ramsdale. Donna is a market opportunity. Rather have a proven game trophy winning goalkeeper in his stead. But I don't agree. I don't agree that he is a market opportunity for a City side who don't play by his skill set. Doesn't make sense to me. No, they did not battle it out. No. Now, Lindegaard was a designated, you are the number two, you are the cup goalkeeper. I don't... Okay. I don't know if there's like a bug on YouTube where... Or maybe there's a mic setting where I say a thing and it goes through a filter and something comes out the other end. I've never said that Trafford is on Donnarumma's level. Once. What we're not going to do is suggest that anyone's even said that. Never mind me. I don't think anyone here has ever said that. But it's also missing the point. It's missing the point of the entire discussion. We can have a league keeper and a cup keeper. Okay. That's fine. So, a number one and a number two. Is that not what you've just described there? Or are you suggesting that the Champions League is also... Are you including the Champions League as a cup keeper? So, Trafford's going to play in the Champions League and Donnarumma in the league? Is that what you're suggesting? That's quite funny. That's quite funny. That's made me chuckle. City is changing his style. What does that mean? What do you mean by this? City are changing their style. What does this actually mean? Because the philosophy is not going to change. Pep's philosophy that he's had since 2008 as a goalkeeper is not going to change. This fucking guy, must he? Yes, possibly. So now, right, so Donnarumma is going to be happy only playing in the league. So Donnarumma's never going to play in the Champions League. Or is it saying the other way around? Trafford's going to play in the league and Donnarumma's never going to play in the league. What, on a percentage scale, what's the likelihood you think that Donnarumma would be happy not playing a single Premier League game? Or even like playing less than half of them? This is mad. This is no solution to anything. This is mental. This is mad. I don't get it. You can teach someone playing out from the back. You can't do that to... Donnarumma is 26 years old. As much as I said that he's not an old goalkeeper, he's not someone who is going to just, at the drop of a hat, learn to become this competent ball player. If this were the case, then why wouldn't Pep have just done that to Joe Hart? The first thing he did was go, nah, you can't do it. Oh, get me Claudio Bravo. That's how desperate he was. I don't know how to feel about the recent... No, neither. Well, I know how I feel. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. But Protocol, the point is that with the Trafford one is that... Because jury's out for me. I don't know if Trafford's ready to make that step up either. However, it makes a lot more sense to me to find out first of all. And you can do that with the Ederson still being the main goalkeeper, Trafford easing into that situation, and if he doesn't impress in those performances, then you know that you've made a mistake and you need to go again in the window. This is not going to allow us to do that, though. This guy, Herbal, man. This guy, Herbal, man. You'd share equally the Champions League, but so no, so when you get to like the knockouts, are you saying that you're going to like rotate the keepers, or are you saying that you're going to have a designated group stage goalkeeper and then a designated knockout goalkeeper? I'm assuming you want Donnarumma to play the majority of games in the league. I don't know. This is... This gets more nonsensical to me. I don't understand. Tim Donnarumma has been the first choice for two massive teams since he was a teenager. Look, if Donnarumma... if Donnarumma was able to learn how to play out from the back competently, do you not think that Enrique, who shares a very similar philosophy to Guardiola, would have already done that? Do we not think that that would have already happened? He's 26 years old. He's done his learning as a goalkeeper. Did my shirt change? Yes, I went to the gym and I had a shower. Yeah. You can improve, but you can't become great. Indeed. Exact time was used for Joe Hart. Yeah. Of course, people can get better. But once again, if the level is 0, you can times that shit by 100 if you want to. You can times that shit by 100 if you really want to. You're still going to end up with 0. If your starting point is so low, then any multiplier is going to be negligible. It's going to be negligible. Yeah, he's very experienced. I will give him that. He's not bad with his feet. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I don't care. This is something interesting as well that I've seen. I've seen people say, and this is so funny because, you know, when I was like really happy about the Shirky signing and like Nori and Reinders, blah, 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 blah. And I was happy with Nico. I was happy with Marmouche. Whatever. And you got this band of people who go, oh, you're always happy with whatever the club does. You're such a shell, and you only like prop whatever the club does and say like you'll never go against them because you're worried that... I've seen some people say that you're worried that your relationship with them will end, as if like City know who the fuck I am in the first instance. But then I've got this other group of people who, whenever I do criticize something, they go, well, Pep wants it, so you should be happy with it. Or maybe I have my own agency and I can think for myself, and I don't believe in the appeal to authority fallacy. I can actually reach conclusions myself based on what I see. I don't accept that just because Pep wants it, that means I should be happy with it. No. Pep also didn't want to start one of Rodri or Fernandinho in a Champions League final against Chelsea. I didn't agree with that. I shouldn't be happy with that just because that's what he did. Pep played Kusanov at right wing against Real Madrid in possession. I don't think that's correct to do just because that was Pep's demand and that's what Pep wanted to do. No. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm going to have my own brain and think for myself. I'm not going to lean to one way or the other. That's mad. I've still not... By the way, in all of this, I've still not found a something that I accept as a rationalization of this as a potential move, by the way. I've still not heard one. Nice shirt. Thanks, Spartacus. Thank you. Yeah. He's not a City type keeper. I agree. That's why I'm very confused. Give Trafford the weaker games if need be as a number 2. Right, so we agree. So you are going to have a number 1, number 2 situation. That's my point. So we agree, Linny. We agree. You've said it there. Make him the number 2. And I'm saying that Trafford's not coming here to be a number 2. So that means that the squad building is shit. Trafford was clearly being signed to, whether the short term or the next season, to be the number 1. Clearly, he turned down Newcastle, where he'd be the number 1, to come to City. He's always talking about wanting to be the number 1 for City. And now, if this happens, we are signing another player. We're signing another player who's going to be the number 1. That is bad squad building. That makes no sense for City to have done that. And that is why I'm criticising City if this happens. Because that is bad squad building. Ultimately. Nitin was Pep out 3 months ago and was Pep out versus Al Hilal. Yeah, but now that Pep wants some players that Nitin wants, now he's happy. This is the thing. It's flip-flop. It's flip-flop. Think for yourself, guys, and have your own agency. To an extent, I mean, don't be an idiot, but, you know, to a degree. I found numbers since I was 2. Love that from you, Mason. I don't want Donnarumma, says Zubair. Fairs. Donna's a Champions League goalkeeper, Trafford League keeper. Donnarumma is not going to accept not playing more than 50% of the league games. That's not going to happen. There is no world that happens. And if it does happen, then I will eat my hat. And I don't even have a hat to hand, but I will eat it if that happens. Yeah, that's an expression, by the way. I'm not literally going to fucking eat a hat. But there is no world. I refuse to accept the concept that Donnarumma comes in with the wage demands he has and is happy to not be the starting goalkeeper in the Premier League. I do not accept that as a concept. Donnarumma isn't old. I mean, in relative terms, they're both young. I mean, Donnarumma's incredibly experienced, but because he's been around forever. I think he's been around since he was 18, and he's 26 now. So he's had like 8-ish seasons or whatever. And that's why there is no succession here. It's not a case of Old Trafford just hang around and you'll be the number one next year. No, Donnarumma's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Bizarre. I mean, in all of this, why couldn't we have just gone for Chevalier, who would have been far better for City? In all of that, I'm so annoyed. I hate PSG so much. If this happens, I hate PSG. They've taken my dream goalkeeper, and they've given me a goalkeeper, the exact opposite of the goalkeeper I want, if it happens. So if this happens, I will have an agenda against PSG for the rest of my days. For the rest of my days. And as Hassam once said, I will prey on their downfall. I will prey on your downfall, Paris Saint-Germain, if you do this to me. If you do this, don't do it to me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it to me. What if Edison wants to leave and this is the only option? That's probably what's happening here. As I understood it, he came out and said, I'm staying. And then I thought that Ornstein or Romano confirmed that when Trafford came in. So this would be a bit of a big 180 if that were the case. At that point, I don't know why he wouldn't just say to the player, stay for a year, and then we'll see what happens with the transition. That still doesn't help me rationalise the Trafford signing at all. It still doesn't rationalise that at all. It's bad squad building if you signed 2 number ones in one window, then that is bad squad building. Yes. Yes. Because you have 1 number one. That is bad squad building. Also, he's not world class. I know it's subjective. I've got a very high bar, but no. Courtois is world class. Alisson is world class. I don't think Donnarumma is that, personally. Your T-Wolves hat. Thank you again. Not even putting the message, just giving a super chat, just tipping. Thank you so much. We love that from you. We love that from you. Thank you, mate. Absolute real one. I don't think do you even comment? Do you just give me money? You're such a real one. Thank you, mate. Love that from you. Feel free to get involved in the chat. Favorite pasta dish? Basic aglio olio pepperoncino. I know it's basic, but you know. Chevalier hell bent on going PSG, and maybe that is the case. Maybe it is the case. Perhaps. Don't sign Trafford then. You know what I mean? Don't sign 2 number ones in one window. Clearly. I didn't think I'd ever have to say that. You can't sign 2 number ones in one window. That's That's fucking dumb. I don't know what else to say other than that is fucking dumb. I don't know what else to say to that. Yeah. All of this, by the way, whilst, again, that meme where, someone's holding up a baby and the other kid's drowning and then there's a skeleton. We're holding up fucking Donnarumma. You got Rodrigo sinking over there somehow, that he's now sinking, whatever. And right at the bottom, you got a fucking right back that we need to get. I love that. I love how this is the focus of the club. And I get it. It's not about... it's not the club can only focus on one position at once, obviously. But it's just staggering to me that seemingly we're not interested in getting another right back. But we're all over this shit. Another winger, I'm all over that shit. Like stink on a warthog, as they said in The Lion King. New goalkeeper, all over that shit. Can we change the system to play 2 in net? Yeah, fairs, man. To be fair. Donna's better than Chevalier. It's not even a debate. Okay, then why wouldn't PSG... If he's so much better than him, then why wouldn't PSG just cough up a little bit more? Could it maybe because Enrique sees Chevalier fitting his style of play a bit more? Thank you for super chat again. Donnarumma's class is better than Trafford's promise. I don't even necessarily disagree. It's more about the fact that Donnarumma, in respect to his shot stopping, I feel like I've been a bit harsh here because we haven't even spoken about what Donnarumma's good at. Because his shot stopping is very good. Of course it is. But that's not really what... That's not how City... sorry. But the ball playing is so horrendous. And again, the fact that we're signing allegedly 2 goalkeepers in 1 window makes no sense. Again, that is bad squad building to sign 2 number 1s. It is bad. Okay. What? Okay, Sean, educate me. What is the vision? So, we're up against Liverpool. We're at Anfield. It's an extreme example, but I feel like it's the most pertinent one. Let's even say we can change that to Spurs. We can change it to Chelsea. We can change it to Villa. In fact, let's not change it to Villa. Newcastle. Newcastle are a great example. Any of those teams, really. We're up against them. We're trying to build that from the back. Donnarumma in goal. Unless you don't think we're going to build out from the back. And they're pressing us. Okay, what is the vision? Take me through it. Speak to me like I'm a golden retriever. Yeah? What is the vision? Because this might be... Because I'm clearly missing something. So this might be it. Maybe I can't get to grips with the vision. Please help me. Please help me. What is the vision? And maybe, you know, maybe I was blind and now I'll be able to see. But yeah, Donnarumma is a very good shot stopper, of course he is. That's never been in dispute. I was always concerned about his ability to come for crosses and aerial work. But that has, to be fair, that did improve last season, so I will give him that. Donnarumma is only happening if Edison is leaving, indeed. But Makrov, the difference was that Alisson was not starting from a point of being, like, wank. He always had a certain level of competency. Oh my god, Spartacus is giving us an essay. Okay, we'll come back to that in a moment. I'm still waiting on Sean. I want to see the vision. I'm waiting to be educated. Sean. Why? Don't leave me hanging. I asked people to rationalize it for me. You're going to rationalize it for me. Why are you assuming Trafford isn't happy being number 2? Because, Matthew, that's basically what he said. If you go look at any of his comments, from when he was in the academy, when he was sold from City, when he's now coming back to City, that's all you need to do. Right, here we go. Donnarumma is capable of playing a 10-yard pass under pressure. That is not a vision, Sean. What is happening? This is not a vision. A team is engaging in a high press. Okay, in this vision, are we playing out from the back? First of all, I need to know that. Assuming we are, otherwise I have no idea what's going on. The passing lanes are blocked. There's a high press. Donnarumma's under pressure. What's happening? It's not about being able to complete a 10-yard pass, because otherwise every goalkeeper we'd say is good at playing out from the back. So what is happening here? Oh, is this are you trolling? The Galacticos who infamously, horrendously, I don't know, I genuine question. I'd be very, if you don't have to share because this is personal information. How old are you guys? Because I've seen this go around a lot. And I feel like people don't actually realize how bad the Galacticos were relative to the money that was spent on them and the honors that they won. So when people say the Galactico vision, that is a bad thing. Because the Galacticos were not successful. Zinedine Zidane won a league title and a Champions League in the 6 years he was at the club. At Real Madrid, when he also had R9 Ronaldo and David Beckham and Figo and Roberto Carlos and all these other wonderful Galacticos. This is not something to strive for. They failed, ultimately. They failed and they did not work. So what do you mean, Galactico vision? And again, this isn't just you, Sean. I'm not having a go, I promise. I've seen this everywhere. Sean, you said to me, here's the vision. I sincerely asked you for the vision. You've not given it to me. I'm trying to have a conversation here. Because I'm trying to understand. You can't just say, chill out, it's vibes. I'm asking sincerely. You say, I don't see the vision. I'm asking, tell me. If you can see it, tell me. But if this is the vision, I actually don't know what we're doing here. And once again, it's not just you. I see it all over Twitter. People going, yeah, City are going to sign 2 Galacticos and this is a great thing. Why would you want to be the Galacticos? They failed. They failed, guys. And this is why I asked the age question, because I feel like people don't remember that or don't know that. They go, oh yeah, Zidane. They look at like comps of like Ronaldo, Ronaldo, Zidane, Beckham, Figo, as I say, all of these wonderful players with zero balance, and that's why they horrendously underperformed in that era and just didn't win anything relative to how good they were. Once again, a player of Zidane's quality should have been doing a hell of a lot more than winning a La Liga. Playing out from the back doesn't rely on the goalkeeper. It does rely on the goalkeeper if the opponent force you into that scenario. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. That is false, I'm afraid to say. That is false. Big up to Johnny, to Jesus. Lovely. See, look at Johnny. I don't know if Johnny's still here. I don't know when this happened. Big up to you, Johnny, because, let me say why, mate. An actual profile picture. Yeah? Some of you guys could learn something. HSV 1889. I love you, mate, but your profile picture's stinky. Yeah? It's just a big H. Look at this. I'm going to name you and shame you. I'm sorry, mate. I love you, but this is a stinky profile picture, chap. Stinky. Don't be like Johnny. Be like Johnny. Get an actual It doesn't have to be of you. It can be of, I don't know, a chair. It can be anything. It could be a burger. Anyway, and your random player, mate, is Jorginho. So big up to you. I missed a fortune as well. There's a fortune for JS. A truly great person never put away the simplicity of a child. What? A truly great person never put away the simplicity of a child. That seems sus to me. Fortune cookie needs to chill. Piplup, always supporting the channel, mate. Thank you very much. Here's a fortune for you. A wish is what makes life happen when you dream of rose petals. A wish is what makes life happen when you dream of rose petals. Okay. It's playing up today. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what is going on. It'll be okay, mate. Donnarumma can be the... Sick of us signing all these non-English players. We have our English starter. It's stupid. I'm not even sick of signing, like, non-English players. It's fine, but... I mean, well, it's not fine in respect to the non-homegrown situation. We know that we still need to do that, but... We will have to accept that at least one of our players is surely going to have to be a homegrown starter. You know, and I say homegrown because it doesn't have to just be English. Like, it could be Oscar Bob, for example. Yeah. I have no idea. Well, these fortunes are tweaking. They are. See, maybe they're associated to, like, they can sense my stress levels, yeah? And all of this stress that's been happening this week, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. We are live tonight on Twitch, by the way, Red Dead Redemption 2. On the Twitch, 7 p.m. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 tonight on the Twitch, 7 p.m. Back to it. Join me tonight for more vibes and fun. My profile is my real face, but animated. Brilliant. Love that from Eugene. PSG with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe was the midfield being atrocious. If they had the same midfield as they do now, they would have won at least one Champions League. I don't know if I agree, Tio, because I thought that team was destined to fail. Because you had too many players on there who just did not do enough work out of possession. And you had too many, like, passengers, as I say, in respect of, like, off-ball work. And I questioned how it would work, and it didn't. I don't think that's to do with the midfield. I think those three, at that period in their careers, was destined to just not work. I mean, I would actually say that the key issue was in midfield and by extension defense, so I don't disagree there. But once again, this doesn't alleviate my concerns, Ari, playing out from the back. I'm not disagreeing. This is why I've not even commented on it. I don't disagree that Donnarumma is a superior shot stopper to Trafford or to Ederson. My point is that I'm not convinced that that outweighs the issues that I've outlined. Because teams, again, I think we've got used to it as City fans. We were in a very privileged position where teams just didn't bother to press us. Like managers came out after the game. I think Pep even said it when Bayern played. Was it Benfica? You know, when he played Ederson, he said we didn't really bother to press them. I think some City fans might be in for a bit of a rude awakening when, we have a goalkeeper who's horrendous on ball, and teams obviously clock onto that and realise that, oh, we can actually hurt these guys a bit more than we haven't been able to do for the past 8 years or so. I think we will be in for a bit of a rude awakening as City fans, unfortunately. Thank you so much. You're just doing a lot of super chats, mate. So please just make sure that you're looking after yourself, because this is a lot. Thank you, though. Guardiola genius must adapt. Beauty needs evolution. So I don't disagree, but there's a big difference between evolving and going from one extreme to the other. I don't think they're the same. I don't think they're the same. Yeah, I don't get that. A goalkeepers absolutely need to play up from the back. If that weren't the case, then Pep would never have gone for Bravo. He never would have gone for Ederson. Or he would have intervened. He would have stuck with Joe Hart. What my guilty pleasure? I don't have any guilty pleasures because I don't think you should be, you know, unless you're doing something like illegal and weird. I don't think you should feel guilty for your pleasures. So I don't really have any guilty pleasures personally. I have lots of pleasures. None of them are guilty. Thank you so much, Sebastian, who's been a member for 8 months, one of the earliest adopters. Thank you, mate. I've been sick for 3 days, and all I get is a nightmare link to my club. I think it's making me sick. I'm sorry, Sebastian. I'd love to help you out, mate, but I'm in the same boat as you. Fortune for Oompa Loompa. Next full moon brings an enchanting evening. Now, this is some bullshit, man. This fortune cookie is having a mare. And here is... Oh, what a player. What a player. Lucio. That's your random footballer, Sebastian. Lucio, one absolute boy. What I'd give for him to be in our side. Absolute queen he was. Yeah, and we're playing it tonight on the Twitch, 7 p.m. Leave a like on the video, guys. I've not asked for that once. Leave a like on the video. It's free. It does help out your boy. I agree with your take, but who's the alternative? Well, it would have been Chevalier. That's not going to fucking happen. Another alternative would have been Garcia, who's now gone to Barca. I had a bit more concerns about him because the ball playing wasn't to the level that I would have wanted, but it was still fine, and I feel like it would have been manageable. The problem with this conversation is that it's signing Trafford like has thrown me because I just assumed that was going to be the long-term thing. Yeah, bizarre. I don't know. So what I would like to see, as I say, is what I assume would have been the succession plan. Yeah, the bot's playing up, Jack. I don't know why. It's LNobbins on Twitch, guys. Twitch.tv/LNobbins. Football's changed. We need to change with it. Having a world-class shot stopping keeper is more important than having a ball-playing keeper with bad. Okay, but I don't accept that you have to pick between the two. Why can't I pick a good shot stopper who's also good on the ball, or a great shot stopper who is above average on the ball, or a great shot stopper who is good on the ball? I know I may have repeated myself there. I don't accept that it's one or the other. I'm not accepting this binary view. Presumed Trafford plan makes sense, assuming Edison stays. Yeah, that was a state play, wasn't it? What happens if Edison leaves and wants to leave? Then we shouldn't assign Trafford, and that's bad squad building. And that's bad squad building because it means we now ended up with two number ones or two players who we're promising a number one. All the players who I would have wanted are now gone. Well, actually, I'd probably rather have Costa from Porto, to be honest with you. But even he was down my list. Like, he was number 3 or 4th choice, to be honest with you. All the other players who I would have wanted are now gone because City didn't move quickly enough or didn't move well enough. And now, as I say, we're in this weird situation. We're playing two keepers, this guy. Thank you, Piplup. It looks silly when the starting lineup comes out and there's one English player. Nothing about the homegrown issue. I prefer English players. I will say, in an ideal world, and I think that we should all really want this as like football fans, in an ideal world, a side would be comprised of like all players from its academy. Like, that would be a beautiful thing, and you'd have players who are all massive fans of the club. That's the ideal scenario. That will never happen at the highest level for a number of reasons, of course, but that to me would be like the ultimate dream, wouldn't it? You know, to have like players who just like live and breathe the club and would die for it, all playing and all succeeding for City. This is why it's so lovely when academy players do well. Yeah, and that's not, as I said, for me, that's not even necessarily to do with being English. I think that's why I love how Haaland's here, because he's a City fan. I take your point though, Piplup. I take your point. Can Lucio be Brazil's centre back again? I'm desperate. I love Lucio, man. He was so fucking good. Yeah. We're playing two goalkeepers. Yeah, fairs. My opinion is that Donnarumma is a good goalkeeper, but 6. Sorry, I don't know what that means. 180th on my list. Yeah, I was not even entertaining him. And I mean, that's an interesting one as well. Like, because people keep saying, which I think is bullshit. People saying, oh, football's moved on and now people don't like to play out from the back. I don't know where that's come from. So like, why is the club that's just won the treble done the opposite then? I'm not being funny, but it is funny. It is funny. Chevalier is a very good goalkeeper. He was my dream signing, and I'm very jealous. It's all going downhill since Carson left. Yeah, innit? Absolute scenes. Right, guys. I don't even know if I apologise for this touchline. This isn't a touchline talk, is it? This was going to be a touchline talk at 2, because we always do that on Tuesdays and Fridays. First of all, apologies I was late, because we did a bonus. Oh, don't even get me started on the Diakite news, mostly my heart. We did a bonus LBins because I couldn't do it yesterday for the reasons I outlined yesterday. So LB asked if we could do it this morning, and that wasn't in my schedule, but I felt bad, so I made time for it. But that did mean obviously I was late for this, and then got delayed in the gym. And I wanted to go to the gym because I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling it right now. We're getting the retraining gains right now. So as I say, apologies for being slightly late. And yeah, this wasn't even a touchline talk, was it? It was an emergency that I didn't want to do, but here we are. Yes, I did see that, and that was upsetting. I wanted both Chevalier and Garcia, but those came and went, and the situation wasn't defined yet. At this point, I will take a proven shot stopper. I don't want Ortega if Edison leaves. And I just can't accept that because I'm concerned. No, again, and that's not been in dispute. That's not been in dispute. At all. No one's ever said the opposite. We all accept that he is a very good shot stopper. Trafford's return is romance. Donnarumma's is ruthless. And again, that's bad. But again, that's bad squad planning, isn't it? Because if you're bringing in Trafford to be the number one, and then 2 weeks later, it's actually you're shafted. Weird. Don't sign two. If you sign two number ones in one window, bad squad building. For the long term, anyway. I guess like short term, you know, Trafford can't go anywhere, so it's not like he can get upset right now. Donnarumma puts even more pressure on the 6 to be able to be good on the. Donnarumma puts even more pressure on the 6 to be able to be good. Donnarumma puts even more pressure on the 6 to be able to be good on the pressure and building up from the back. Yes, 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 yes. Again, and this goes back to how one of the things that would have alleviated City's build-up by going to a 2-3 is that you know that basically the goalkeeper can step out and turn it into a back 3, really. So it's actually a 3-3-5 instead of a 2-3-5 on ball. I know that sounds stupid, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying there. So you're basically taking that part out of the equation, and you're absolutely right. That means that the players aren't going to want to go... it means two things. Our players go back to the goalkeeper, and he can't do the job, leading to bad scenarios for City. Or they don't bother doing that, and as you say, it means that everyone else has to sort of like, I don't want to use the phrase step up because I fucking hate that saying, but they do have to be more aware, and it as you say, it places even more pressure, not just the midfield, the centre backs in particular. I fear the full-backs as well. Certainly that back too. If the ball goes back to them from the midfield, yeah, then I don't even know. I don't even know. Champions League is coming. I have a good feeling about it. Maybe. And this is definitely an argument to be had that in knockout competition, one could argue it is far better to have a goalkeeper who is more of a shot stopper than a ball player. That makes a lot of sense because we know that football is based on moments. I will say that the opposite can also be the case. For example, this is quite apt. I don't know if anyone remembers Real Madrid versus PSG in 2022, was it? And Donnarumma literally passed straight to Benzema. So his bad ball playing did result in a goal that it ended up, knocking out PSG. So it can work the other way. But generally speaking, yes, you're more likely to win a knockout competition if you've got a goalkeeper who is better at the shot stopping. Conversely, I would contend you're probably more likely to, an Edison, for example, is probably more likely to be better in a league format where that's maybe less relevant for City. Because over the course of a season isn't defined on moments, is it? Hello, KX. How you doing, mate? Where's the FPL? The FPL's there, mate. What do you mean? I've got an FPL league. What do you mean? Who's trying to call me an 0161 number? Hello? Which prick is trying to call me? What should be my mother? No, there is. I've got the FPL thing. If you were in the last league, you should be in this one. How do I invite people? I don't know how to invite people. I'll give you in the Discord. There's a league. If you're in it last season, you should be in it here. No worries at all, Spartacus. That's fine. That's my bad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I made sure to not say it. Sure, Sean, but you can see the points I'm making here, right? Surely you can see the points I'm making. It was not a foul. He was a little... I remember that. He was a little bitch. I remember laughing at it. I was like, you're such an idiot. Do better. I don't think I say it's a little bit. That would have been harsh. I may have done, to be fair. What's my FPL name? I just fraud watch. I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't think of any pun. I'm shit at puns, so I just did fraud watch. Couldn't be asked. Was Donnarumma's ball playing ability was apparent weakness of PSG last season? I wanted you to answer that. Well, it doesn't matter in the as I just said before. It matters less in a knockout format, and for PSG, it matters not at all in the league because they're gonna win it basically anyway, unless like a weird outlier happens because the gap in the gulf in like wages in that league is ridiculous. To be fair, you did even see it in the Champions League. Like players did not want to pass back to him. The players made it work. They made it work. But I'll repeat: why would PSG want to get rid of their treble-winning goalkeeper? That just seems a little bit odd to me. It is shit, but I can't be arsed with a name. Clear foul. This guy needs to sort himself out. PSG can win the league with me and goal. Game of Stones. Yeah, it's not original, but it's a classic. It's a classic. It's a classic. Do you think something is up if Savio or Edison are bench or not even in the squad against Wolves? Well, I guess we'd assume that they're leaving, I guess. Won't grow terms on YouTube. But if he's this wonderful goalkeeper, pay him the money. Pay him the money that he wants. If he's this wonderful goalkeeper who's world class and has just won you the treble, pay him the money. You already pay the highest wages in Europe. Do it. Don't spaff money on Chevalier. Don't bother with a transfer fee on Chevalier. Just give him more money. Easy mode. Easy mode. Do it. Do it. Why would you get rid of that asset? Why would you get rid of that asset unless you felt that there was a better option there which coincides more so with how you want to play and your philosophy? Anyway. I mean, there is so much wrong with this statement. First of all, why do I give a toss what any football fan in the world says? Most football fans are fucking morons. If they point to a dog and call it a cat, that doesn't make it a fucking cat. What is this appeal to majority bullshit? What's going on here? No, terrible logic. Terrible logic. Yeah, mad. And in all this, guys, we still don't have a fucking right back. Crazy, guys. Crazy, we've still not signed one. Madder. Madder. You know, that one position that we desperately need. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, I'll spend that on a winger and a fucking keeper instead. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to allocate that. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Get your attention there, mate. Get your attention there, mate. City moved past the need for a Baleba. I don't know why you're talking about Baleba. We've moved past the need for Baleba. We've signed our midfield now. PSG can win the league with me in the middle of the park and Nobbins in there. And I'm a shit goalkeeper, by the way. And I'm a shit goalkeeper. Like, really terrible. Really terrible. I'm bad at football, but in net, I'll just let everything in. Not on purpose, but I'm just shit. So, that's the state of play. That's the state of play. Wouldn't that be a time? Hey, he's tall, so he can deal with the aerial duels, you know? You know? Anyway. Anyway, guys. There's nearly 300 people watching. Let's get the likes up, please. Yeah, get the likes up, please. Come on. Let's get up to 250, shall we? Come on. Come on. Let's do it. And you wouldn't have a right back because it would go against City's ways. We had a right back in the past. We didn't have a left back. Now we have a left back. Can't have a right back. I hate everything. I hate everything. The only way that this week can get worse in respect of, like, players who I don't want near City is, like, Edison from Atalanta. Can we like, sign him? Whilst we're at it, like, put the nail in my fucking heart even more so. Whilst we're fucking at it. Uh, I look like. First of all, I don't know what that means. You look like. I probably do have bad hand-eye coordination. To be fair, I probably do. Here we were playing kamikaze football, just like Barca. Oh my god. Yeah, should we? I mean, guys, let's just bring back Walker, homegrown goalkeeper. He did a good job in net. He saved that one shot that one time in the Champions League. Let's just bring him back and pop him in goal whilst we're fucking at it. There with his cunting feet. Let's do that whilst we're at it. Yeah? Get me in that 10 role. Chevalier's French PSG hierarchy officially said they'd be developing a world-class team surrounding French players. No-brainer they chose him. Yeah, and it would have been a no-brainer for City as well, because he is good with his feet, and he is very good at shot stopping. It would have been ideal, in my humble opinion. Is Bravo still playing? This guy. Akanji, Diaz, Nunes, Donnarumma are going to be horrifying to watch from build up. That's oh. Oh my god. This is going to be so bad, isn't it? That's going to be so terrible. I'm still convinced it's not going to happen. Maybe it's Cope. But like, where else does he go? Why are we taking fucking sloppy seconds, man? Why are we taking like offshoots of players who the clubs don't even fucking want them anymore? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I think they do elements. Yeah, it's happened before. Gvardiol fighting for his life in that backline. Yo, Gvardiol's gonna have to mount. He's gonna have to put his fucking flag in that field. He's gonna mount that pole. Micah Richards is a big boy. He can still play. Yeah, fair. Maybe you can burst back onto the scene. Maybe you can burst back onto it. Right, we've been live for 90 minutes. That's around how long I normally want to keep these. Do we have any final thoughts, final comments, final questions about this? I guess, do you think it's going to happen, actually? That's an interesting question, I guess. Do you guys reckon it... Not do you want it to happen? Do you think it will happen? You guys know my stance. I don't want it to happen. I also don't think it will happen. That's my prediction. There's something which tells me that this is just like the work of Donnarumma's camp rather than something that City are doing and City will actually do. I can't rationalize it. I don't understand. Johnny, even if Ederson leaves, I still don't get it. We signed Trafford as number 2, thinking Ederson will stay. Ederson changed his mind and wants to go Galatasaray. Now City trying to damage control. Well, that's shit from City then. If you sign a future number 1 and you in your head you have this assurance that Ederson's staying, you've got to stick by your guns at that point. Then surely you've gone, no, we've committed to this. We're doing with it. If that is true, that is weak from City. That is really weak from City. Doesn't make sense to me either, Yanko. I'm sure he does, Spartacus. I'm sure I've seen like people say, but there's a difference between admiring a player and thinking he definitely fits my philosophy. You know? Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know what's going on. VR trying to distract everyone. Is this some fucking... Is he baiting me? Is he the master baiter? Like, is that what's going on? Is that what's going on? I hope so, Mr. Ray. I hope so. I really hope it's just paper talk and agent talk. Why Red Flag City randomly decided to kick out Savio and now number 1. They both decided to leave, hence why we're buying other players to replace them. We're not buying a right back because Nunes is staying. We need 2 attacking right backs. Benito. So that Nunes staying is irrelevant. I don't think I've decided. I don't. That must be the royal we, because I've not said the remainder. So that must be you must be referring to yourself in the royal we there. That's not me. Donnarumma, definitely. Definitely Donnarumma. I can rationalize, to a degree, Rodrigo. A lot of parameters have to be ticked in order for me to be happy with the signing. And even then, my happiness level is going to be a maximum, like, 8 out of 10. You know? Even then. But if all of the little ticks happen, as I go, this has to happen, and that has to happen, and that has to happen, then I can accept it, and I can be fine with it. And that has to be, he has to play primarily at right wing. And has to accept that he's not going to be the main option out on the left. And even then, it's still not optimal to me, but I can put it up to a 7 or an 8 out of 10 happiness scale if that parameter is met and those checklist points are met. Donnarumma, I cannot see what world I can be happy with this. And I'm trying really, really, really hard to think of that world. I'm streaming at 7 on Twitch, yes. I'm really trying to think of that world. Because the only one that makes sense to me is, like... I don't even know. Because you can't abandon ball playing in a Pep philosophy team. That doesn't make sense to me. You can't just, like, totally on a dime go, and now we're going to play hoofball 24/7 and secede possession. I can't accept that that's what we're going to do. So how could one mitigate it? You can drop loads of players in the first phase of build-up, I guess, and just have loads of bodies there, but then you're inviting loads of... pressure from the opponent, aren't you? Because if you drop loads of defenders back, then the attackers are going to drop. And again, that would make sense if we had a goalkeeper who was good on the ball and was able to pick out players in that space. Like the amount of times like Ederson's able to find Marmouche or whatever, the runs of Haaland. That would make sense if that was the strategy. But I know that Donnarumma can't do that. I've seen him not be able to do that. Ask Pep. Kate, I hate to break it to you. I do not have a direct line to Pep Guardiola. I know that there is a bold fraud poster here in my room, in this office. I can't ask Pep like that, I'm afraid to say. And again, I'm trying so hard. Exactly, Spartacus, yeah. Exactly. And this is why, like, I try to think of the solution. You drop more players back to help Donnarumma, but then what's the knock-on effect of that? Oh, all the other players advance, and then, as you say, that means that your 6 is going to have to be the most pristine player to play out from the back. Yeah, that's a very good point, Spartacus, to be fair. When I go bald, I harness my Pep Guardiola. The rumours going around Pep's asking for these signings is just gossip, says Sebastian. I hope so. Yeah, Oscar, I went to that restaurant with him. B, I'm not going to... I actually don't know what else I can say. I feel like I've outlined my stance really succinctly, and I feel like these are all valid points I'm making, and you're sort of acting like I'm spewing bullshit. I don't think there's been anything wrong that I've said there, to be honest with you. He's not good at playing out from the back. We play out from the back. We can't drop players to help Donnarumma play out from the back. We can't exploit the space by doing that. I don't understand how you can't understand my issue with that. This is not like when we had that fucking moron earlier. Who was it? Was it Anthony or whatever he was called? or yesterday, we had like a proper idiot. I was like, I'll ban this idiot. And he was like saying proper nonsense that was just objectively not true and not backing it up with anything. I feel like I provided logical answers. So I don't really understand how you can't understand where I'm coming from here. No, Spartacus, you can't, you naughty boy. Donnarumma could play PSG possession base, playing out for the back system just fine. But that's not really what PSG did. Or not what they had to do in the Champions League. And again, you're comparing Ligue 1 to the Premier League, where it didn't matter what PSG did at the back in the league. They nearly went invincible last season, didn't they? In Ligue 1, they're going to get zero fucking pressure on them. And they've got a midfield of just like pure technicians who can deal with that pressure a little bit more as well. And look at their defenders as well. Look at how their fullbacks in particular. Look how brilliant they were as on-ball players. No disrespect, but I have Mateus Nunes. I don't think that's I don't think that's a reasonable comparison. I don't think that's a reasonable comparison on any level. Oh my god, yeah. This I had to ban someone because they were insistent that Nico Gonzalez was a bad ball carrier. They were insistent, and I can only assume, and I've never seen this anywhere before. They were clearly basing this off the training session. Come back to me when you've watched some of his Porto games, mate. Come back to me when you watch some of his games for City, actually. Fucking Newcastle game and Bournemouth game spring to mind. Didn't you literally score a fucking goal via his carrying? B, I've got very high standards for world class. And again, that's not really to my point. I don't think you're understanding my point, which is fine. It's a bit frustrating, but it's getting a bit boring, having to repeat myself over and over again. Nico G is our best ball carrier, and second is Kova. I'm just gonna like... I know that those idiots aren't here now because we're after a higher caliber of viewer on this channel, so we banned their pussy asses. I can just disprove that right now with objective data. Okay? Where is it? Remember, bad ball carrier. Bad ball carrier. Okay? Total carries volume, top 11%. Total carrying distance, top 12%. Progressive carrying distance, top 9%. Progressive carry... I can't speak. Progressive carries, a little bit low. You know, the top... still, top 33%, so still objectively higher than average. Consider the position, though. Slightly higher position than someone like a Rodri, for example, as an 8. Carries into the final third, top 13%. And he's not really tasked with carrying into the penalty area, and yet he's still in the higher end rather than the lower end. This is a player who is a bad ball carrier, guys. This is a player who is a bad ball carrier. Apparently. Apparently. Why do people speak with such certainty when they are talking shit? And this is why I said earlier, most football fans are fucking idiots and they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're watching. They see an idiot regurgitate a bullshit opinion. They accept it as their own, or even worse, they've come to it themselves and they are actually just defunct in the brain. One of those two. Don't get it. Don't get it. Right, I'm going to end it there. I keep doing this. That was just FBref, guys. Free data. That's free data. Just type in Nico G, FBref. Free data. Go to his last seasons for Porto in the Premier Liga. Do it. Yeah? Do it. Easy mode. Easy mode. Easy mode. Right. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to end it here, and we're going to have a lovely time, aren't we? I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. Another one I didn't really want to have to do. Big up to you, Similian. Arse. What is this currency? Arse. What's going on here? Is there something in the back line that can put a good long ball in behind? We have defenders who can do that. You know, we do have Gavardio, we do have Stones. Kusanov can do that as well. No, FBS free. Premier League is not the same level as the Premier League. But that's what we have to base it off. So you can't say that he's a bad ball carrier. Because all we can do is base it off what we have seen. And what I've seen when he was playing in Portugal was that he was actually a good ball carrier. Whenever I see him for City, he's a good ball. Literally, his goal against Bournemouth came from carrying the ball. It's an Argentinian peso. Oh, that's sick. Arsenal currency. Fortune, today's the tomorrow we worried about yesterday. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, Ars currency is mad. Do I take... I mean... I'm taken now, but if I wasn't, then... You know. I'm saying you were too harsh on League A. I don't know what that means, Makrov. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. I think I'm missing something. I don't know. Go watch that Kovacic stream. Because I got properly angry, man. I got properly angry and annoyed. At these idiots. And then someone tried to hide behind her. Oh, but that's just my opinion. My opinion. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's my opinion that the fucking sky is made of cheese at that fucking point. What's going on? What's going on? What is happening? I'm not being a dickhead. I actually don't know what that means. Makrov, what does that mean? League A. Can I explain why the signing would benefit us? No. I can't. Not net. No, I don't think I can. He's a very good shot stopper, so I guess he benefits us like that. Don't have a little to no pressure from league games. Sorry, League R. Oh, League R. Okay, my bad. League R. Yeah, because it's not to do with the quality of the league, because I actually like Liga. I keep recommending us players to sign from Liga. The problem is that the reason why it's... So I think what you're saying is, why is it okay to judge Nico's ball carrying at Porto in the Portuguese league, but it's not okay... No, it's fine, Mycroft. But it's not okay to judge... It's not okay to say that Donnarumma was competent at ball playing in Liga. The reason is because PSG fucking dominates every single game. Every single game in Liga. So players... The other team can hardly get the ball off them. So they don't have to really worry about those same concerns. That's the situation. Whereas in the Portuguese league, it's not every single side that comes up against Nico in midfield is rolling over and allowing Nico to charge through them and, you know, bombard through the midfield like a prime Yaya Toure. They're not comparable. I understand your point, but they aren't comparable because of the context of the teams. Because PSG are so dominant that it does not matter to them. So I don't accept that, well, he was all right in League last season. I'm going to accept that as fact, by the way, because I didn't watch nearly enough PSG last season in the league to assess whether that's true. So I will take that at face value. It's more to do with the context of the team that they're playing for and the level of the opposition as well. The gap, the golfing quality between PSG and anyone else in Liga, basically, is not the same as like the teams that Nico was coming up against. So that's why it's reasonable to do. And again, I've seen... What the hell was that? And I've seen it for City as well. I've seen it for City as well. That he is just good at ball carrying. That's the thing. And this person was saying, no, he's bad at ball carrying. What? So it's actually a weakness of his. So he's actually just objectively shit at it. Hello? Don't know, my name is Red. Wait, why is it red? I don't know. I think it's just random. I don't know. He better, Neil. Otherwise, there's no, it's not a thing. I could do voice acting. £5 if you can name 5 ways Donnarumma. Okay, guys, come on. Let's get Nobbins' money. Let's pay for, I don't know, what can I spend £5 on? I can get half a haircut for that. Come on. 5 ways Donnarumma could benefit City. He is, objectively, a superior shot stopper. This will benefit City in that we will not start to concede the first goal all the time. In, you know, from like a shot on target or whatever. What do you mean, no? I need help for this. Yeah, of course they can help, Jack. Come on. Yeah, fantastic. Edison is a little boy, yeah? How tall is Edison? He's a little baby boy. Yeah? He's only 6'2". Donnarumma, by the same token, is 6'5". That's an extra 3 inches on Edison, yeah? An extra 3 inches. So he's also a taller lad as well. That's going to be really good for claiming crosses because he's a taller boy, yeah? So that's 2. Yes, thank you, Rusty. He's good at saving penalties. Edison is bad at saving penalties. This means that when City concede a penalty and the goalkeeper doesn't come out because they're not a sweeper fucking keeper, and that's great. When the inevitable penalties are conceded, he will do a good job at saving them. So there you go. So he's a better. So he'll prevent us from conceding the first shot. He will. He's a better penalty saver, and he's tall. Right, 2 more. By inviting more pressure by recruiting a bad ball-playing goalkeeper. Why is that good? By inviting pressure, because Donnarumma is worse on the ball, this will lull the opposition into a false sense of security. And that will mean that they will leave gaps in behind, so when Donnarumma plays that 5-yard pass to Gvardiol, he will see the runs of Marmoush in behind, and City will score a lot more goals by false transitions. That's 4. He has a cool mustache. I'm looking to the chat, but they're not helping. He's Italian, mate. What else? What else? Oh, yeah, no. I was going to say, like, he's Italian, but Chiesa won it as well, didn't I? I was going to say City can only have 2. We're more likely to do better in cup competitions because he's a better shot stopper. Is that acceptable? Is that fine? Does that count as 5? I know 1 and 5 are a bit slightly together. I think I've done a pretty good job there, guys. I think I've done a pretty good job there. They can't help. Is that not a 5th one? Is that not a thing? He puts us in an even worse situation for the homegrown situation. That's a great positive. Well, okay, well, the benefit is if Edison's leaving, then, and if we're concerned about Trafford not being the number 1, then he benefits us because he's an elite goalkeeper. What were my 5 again? Oh, fuck off. Basically, he's good at shot stopping, so he'll make us not prevent like the first shot all the time. First shot being the first goal. He's better at saving penalties as well when we concede more, whatever. He's taller. He will invite more pressure, thereby allowing for more false transitions. And I've forgotten what my fucking last one was. Oh, he's just a better shot stopper overall, so we're less likely to get knocked out in cup competitions. Is that what I said? Is that acceptable? Is that acceptable? No, that was the one, wasn't it? Yeah. Edison's leaving. We need to sign an elite goalkeeper to replace him. So, you know. Oh, God. So you sold for £5. Hey. Times are tough, you know. Times are tough. And Nobbins needs his bread. Pep loves him. Is that a benefit? Maybe it is. He has better pasta recipes. Yeah, exactly. He can teach us all how to be better cooks. It means that, you know, if there's another penalty shootout for the England players, like, you know, Foden or Lewis or whoever, they'll know where he's going to dive. He's good at saving. He's good. Wait, what? That's not what I said. He's lanky. Yeah, he's taller. Yeah. We need a replacement. Now, you missed out the one where I said that he's going to invite pressure and that will help us. Now he's a good penalty person. But I'm not always negative, David. Go and watch my Shirky analysis video. Go watch my Ait Nori analysis video. Go watch my Reinders analysis video. Go watch my Nico Gonzalez analysis video. Go watch my Omar Marmoush analysis video. Go watch my Savio analysis video. Go watch my Gavardio and Doku analysis videos. I'm not always negative. I am what I am. If I'm happy... Sorry, I know I keep overrunning. If I'm happy with a signing, I'll say I'm happy. If I'm not happy with a signing, I'm going to say I'm not happy. That's not being negative. That is trying to be as neutral and objective as possible. That's the opposite of being negative. If negative's here and positive's here, what I'm doing is here in the middle, which is really what we should all hopefully want from content creators, surely. Not being arbitrarily negative or arbitrarily positive. What is happening? Big up to you, BT Slim. Pep in goal, yeah. Right, okay. I'm actually going to go now. I am live on Twitch at 7 PM. Let me pop the link in. And yeah, I never called him shit. I did push back on how good he was, though. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, people don't know what they want to say. If they agree with, if they Jack, thank you so much, mate. You didn't have. Thank you so much, mate. I know I only half did it, but thank you, mate. Fortune for Manchevi, the one who snores will always fall asleep first. That is correct. Yeah, where's that comment gone? I totally agree. If you're speaking to someone and they're not happy with a signing and you don't agree with them, then you're overly positive. Whereas conversely, if we sign a player and they're happy and I go, well, actually, I don't know if I am, then they go, oh, are you too negative? Maybe it's just that actually I have my own agency and my own brain, and I think for myself, and I'm not a fucking sheep. I'm a fucking shepherd with the stick and everything. Yeah? If you want to be a sheep, you can fucking go for it. I'm not going to be anyone's fucking jumper. I'll let you know that. Let that be known right now. I'm not going to be a fucking jumper in Primark. Okay? Not happening. Not happening. No shots. That's what you've got. We're playing Red Dead Redemption 2. What was I doing? Twitch link. There we go. Critical thinking is a thing. Media literacy is also a thing. I don't know if my comment went through. There we go. Bop. There we go, guys. Twitch.tv/LNobbins. Click that link to follow. Big up to Cab. I think you just followed the Twitch. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm gonna go because I keep saying I'm gonna go, and then you guys keep sucking me in. You keep sucking me in into the conversation. Actually, no, fuck this. I'll be live. I'll be live for like another. Should I just stay until 7? For real, for real, for real. The delay is annoying. I don't know if that's me, because it seems to be not as bad on like LB's stream, so I wonder if that's like a me problem. For real, for real. Edson has a better post shot. No, no way, Kenboy. I don't believe that. Nah, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. Kenboy, source? Are you sure? I feel like that's cap. I feel like that's cap. I keep getting sucked in. Shall I just go 24/7? Shall we just like go full time? I mean, I'm already full-time content creator, but shall I go full time? Where are you up to on Red Dead Redemption 2? Sean, you'll have to tune in at 7 PM to find out, you cheeky sausage. Do you think we even get one of Rodrigo or Donnarumma? I think that if one of them is going to happen, it would be Rodrigo. And that is the one that I could accept that. And I could be happy with that if he's played at right wing. I don't think I'll ever be happy otherwise. Obviously, he's doing 24 hours if we win 115. I did do... Was it a 12-hour stream or a 24-hour stream, guys? Years ago. This was like 2020 or 2021. Like when I didn't... I think that was the old YouTube channel, actually, wasn't it? Big Bomb. You're following, mate. When it was the charity stream, I think it was a 12-hour one. I don't think I went the full 24. I think it was just a 12-hour one. That was a good charity stream. I think we raised, like... And I'm only a baby right now. But we raised a decent amount of money back then, considering, like, there was only, like, you know, 15 to 20 people watching on Twitch. We raised, like, over 600 quid for Mind, the mental health charity. It was a 12-hour one. Macroft, my game playing is terrible, mate. No, to be fair, you're not wrong. It is fucking dog shit. And again, you'll need to tune in at 7 PM to see how terrible it is. Nobbins bathtub stream for 30k subscribers. I was fried. Well, it's because I was having fucking bullshit energy. Oh no, I'm thinking the one before that, Musty. Nah, guys, I'm thinking of the one before that in 2021. Because that was the one you're thinking of, Poppy Playtime. That wasn't a charity stream. I think that was just a Vibes 12-hour one. I'd be up for doing like a marathon stream when we hit like a big milestone. Maybe like 50k or something. It's true. Okay, guys, I've got to check this out now. Don't go anywhere because I've... This little rat has sucked me in. There is... I refuse to believe that Donnarumma's post-shot expected goals, less goals against, was worse than Ederson's last year. There's no way that's a thing. Surely not. Steve, fuck off, mate. Huh? ¿Qué? Surely there's been a mistake here. What mistake do your eyes see? Please tell us. Oh my god, guys, I'm going to get this up on the screen. Don't you worry. The fuck? Let me show you. high key, I can't. Right. Let me outline what this is, guys. Big up to Kenboy for this. Once again, I'm not trying to downplay shot stopping, by the way, because even if you can, anyone can have an off year. Anyone can have an off year. It's not a problem. Essentially, post shot expected. This one up in the top right, PSXG less GA. That is basically a really useful stat to illustrate a goalkeeper's shot stopping ability. Let's say that in a game you receive 2 post-shot expected goals. A post-shot expected goals of 2. So that means that throughout, and that's a lot. So throughout a game, you face shots where after the shot leaves the player's foot, it adds up to 2 expected goals, 2 XG. Less goals against. So if you conceded 1 goal, if you concede 2 goals, then your post-shot expected goals, less goals against is going to be 0. So that means that, you saved what you were supposed to save, whatever. If it's, whereas it could be, it could be 2, it could be 1. Obviously, if it's 2, that means that you didn't allow any goals when you should have conceded 2. So basically, the higher this stat, the better the goalkeeper in respect to shot stopping. It's not a perfect stat. However, I feel like there's not as many good goalkeeping stats compared to outfield stats, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, it is a really useful one. Now, clearly, Donnarumma is a very good shot stopper. The yellow represents Donnarumma in the 22-23 season. He was in the top 11%. So that's the yellow. That is Donnarumma in 22-23. He's in the top 11% for post-shot expected goals, less goals against, compared to other goalkeepers across. Is this all leagues? This is just all leagues. I can make it top 7, but it's basically the same. All leagues. Maybe it's just top 7. Compared to other goalkeepers, whatever. The green shows Donnarumma from 23-24, where he was in the top 1% for shot stopping. He was in the top 1% for shot stopping. So the yellow is Donnarumma, the green is Donnarumma. Okay? The blue is also Donnarumma. Last season, where he was in the bottom 20%. The fuck? Hello? ¿Qué? Hola, ¿qué? I didn't realize that. Christ. How interesting. Now again, that probably just tells us that he had a bad year in respect of shot stopping last year overall, because he went from the top 1% to the bottom 20%. That tells us that it's just, it must have just been an off year, whatever. But that is mental. That is a mental decline. And again, I know it's only an off year, whatever, but that is insane. So I thought Kenboy was capping. He's not capping. Mad. I'm going to compare him to, like, other goalkeepers as well. I'm going to cry, man. Let me show you what I mean. Once again, it was an off year, to be fair, so maybe it's not fair. Maybe it's not fair. But again, that was a very good year, so, could you say the exact same? Could you say that that's also not fair? Like, look at my goat, man. Look at my goat. Fuck's sake. Yeah, great fan. Fair play, Ken boy. Proving me wrong. It made me look like a right knobhead. Look at this, man. Look at this. The blue is still Donnarumma. I know that radar charts are massively overused and not really that useful in isolation, but that stat is rigged. Macroft, tell me more. What does that mean? Lads, the purple is Chevalier. Oh, that's a great idea. Macroft, I believe that this is only in the league. So I imagine you'll have seen his Champions League. I don't have his Champions League data, to be fair. This is like, I think that Data MB only has the league, I believe. Stats are overused. No. Stats are overused incorrectly, but overall stats are a very important, useful bit about football. Enrique came in 2023 and changed the system. Why would that change the shot stopping stats? Or are you suggesting that he would face more shots? Which makes sense, but isn't the whole point that we want a shot? Isn't the whole positive that it's a shot stopper? What do you mean by that? I don't understand what that means. I'll need some clarification there. I need some clarification there. Mad Hatter. When did he become manager? That'd be interesting. Like season-wise. The quality of the chances he's conceded are high in XG. Why would that change from one season to the other? Why would that? I don't understand. Why would that change? This is like per 90 stuff, guys. It's not to do with like the sheer volume of it. I might just be Spartacus. I might be missing a trick here. What is the argument here? I'm confused. What is Mad Hatter trying to say to me here? Growing pains in a new. Why does a new system make it so that summer 2023? Right. Oh, okay. But that goes totally counter to your argument, because 23-24 was his best year. What am I missing here? Why would a system change mean that Donnarumma's forgets how to shot stop in the league last year? Why? I wanted to compare goalkeepers. This is interesting now. Look. I don't know what fucking colour that is. When you change your playing style, you also change the type of chances you concede. The keeper needs time to adapt to his pattern. Saves are rarely made on reflexes. No, I understand that. But are you saying that it only happened last season? And I still don't understand why that makes the jump go from 1% to 20%. I don't know if I accept that. The peach colour is Donnarumma in 23-24. Matali, don't get arsey with me, mate. The peach is 23-24. The blue is 24-25. So these are both Enrique seasons. What am I missing? No, we will be live on Twitch, don't worry. This is interesting to me. Oh, sorry, Matali, I apologize. My bad. I apologize. Sorry. I apologize for being rude. My bad. It's just hard to keep track. It's also hard to tell what someone's tone is through text as well. I'm waiting for the explanation. If Enrique came in, and these are both Enrique seasons, then why does Enrique changing the system, how does that explain this? I was willing to just say he just had an off year. But now his white knights are trying to explain it. I was willing to just say, oh, we just had an off year in front of goal in the league, whatever. It shouldn't change much, and the longer you play the system, the better you should respond. Enrique massively changed his start of it. When, Spartacus? When? Confirm the month for me. Mad Hatter, I need an explanation from you, mate, because you said that with a lot of fucking chest. So I need, and again, I'm willing to be corrected, but I don't understand what your point is here. I don't understand what your point is. It does get lost in text. But what's your point? These are both Enrique seasons. In one, he was top 1% shot stopping. In the other, he was bottom 20%. I put that down as just an off year. Why does a system change? Unless you're saying Enrique changed it about halfway through the season. So sorry. So to confirm, the argument is that the explanation as to why he went from 1%, top 1% to bottom 20 is because of the final 3 to 4 months of the season. Is that the argument? That's insane. There is no way that's what you're saying. This is surely just down to he just happened to have an off year. Overall. No, I know you're not Spartacus. Which season was terrible at shot stopping? The blue is last season. The peach is the season before. These are both Enrique seasons. The peach is 23-24. The blue is 24-25. Big up to you, Martin. Love that from you, mate. How does... I mean, first of all, Mad Hat to be interested to know, when do you consider this system to have changed in the first instance? It can't be when Enrique came in. It can't be when Enrique came in, but by your standing, because the peach is the full first season. It was top 1%. Are you saying it happened at the start of 24-25? I don't think that's correct. You're not muted, Benito. I can see you, mate. Again, I was willing to just leave it as just maybe he had an off year, whatever, but I thought that was an interesting thing to do. Your random player, mate, is Del Piero. Big up. And look at this. I'm running out of... What am I running out of there? Pink. I think that means I'm running out of paper. Baffled. Totally baffled. 7 months. Big up to you, mate. Yeah, I know, guys. Allow it, guys, and allow it. So I'll wait for the explanation there. I want to do what Spartacus suggested, though. Don't go anywhere. I want to do a plot. I'm going to be live on Twitch in 8 minutes, guys. If you want to debate me more at fucking Donnarumma. Oh, God. It's a weird one, Martin, isn't it? Because you don't... what's it? So what should we do? Oh, the issue is on the bar chart. I can't do post shot expected goals, less goals against. Prevented goals, maybe. Is that what it would be? Perhaps this might be a whitewash, guys. This might be a write off. Sorry. Right. Okay. Yes. No. This is good. Goals prevented. Okay, guys. I want to. This guy, Roy, man, such a fraud. Look at his shorts as well. No, is it all Matt Hatter? It's fine. This guy, look at his shorts. Look at this guy's shorts and his beautiful bald head. Little fraud. My Twitch is LNobbins, mate. It's just LNobbins, same as YouTube. Give me some goalkeepers that you want me to compare Donnarumma to. This is just a thought experiment based off last season. This is, and also give me a y-axis. I've got prevented goals on the x-axis. What do we want on the y-axis? We can have save percentage. We can have prevented goals per 90. Maybe that's a more useful stat than prevented goals. To be fair, I don't know. Let me know which one you guys prefer. Do you prefer prevented goals per 90 or prevented goals? We could have XG conceded. We could have goals conceded. Shots conceded, because we're talking about shot stopping, aren't we? So maybe we could do a volume metric, i.e., quantity of shots or goals versus the one prevented. You want save percentage? I can see if I can do that for us. I can do that for us. I would like. That's the second time I've seen save percentage. So yeah. So I've got that now. I'm going to limit this to the top 7 leagues just for clarity. Just for clarity, guys. Just for clarity, guys. James Trafford. I don't think that I'd have to do all leagues if I did that. That's the only thing, because he's not. He would have been in the championship last year, wouldn't he? I guess it just makes the graph looks a bit messy. That's all. Preferably top. Oh gosh, Casio. Oh, you want me to do all these, but can we do top 7 first? Big up to you, Spartacus, for the super chat. It's actually Mark Goldbridge. Hello, crazy. Zach Stefan, fuck off, mate. We'll do vibes ones after. Just give me some top 7 players first of all. Top 7 league players first of all. I'm putting Chevalier on here. I'm putting Garcia on here. I'll put Diogo Costa on here as well. I can select specific players, yes, but it would just look a bit messy if I do all the leagues. That's all. I'll do those after. Courtois, good option, yeah. Courtois, yep. Raya, good option. Who is this Donny over here? Samau. Big up to Samau, absolute king. You're Sporting Braga. They need to check what's in the water over there. Christ. Any other goalkeepers? I put in Costa. Oblak. That's a great shout. Yep, Oblak. I've got Courtois. Yeah, I've got Raya. I've got Alisson. My Nan. Another great shout. Right. Okay. Yeah, apologies, guys. I will be live on Twitch soon. If I do all leagues, and I'm going to add in this fucking Casio lad. I've got him. Okay, he's actually sick. I'll add in fucking Stefan as well. No, well, I can't do that. I will add Trafford, though. But again, championship vibes. Okay. Would you guys... God, this looks like such a mess with all these... No, I can't have all of them. It just looks like a mess. I'll show you after. Let me do this one first, guys. Okay. Big up to Data MB. Well worth the subscription. This is a chart. And again, this isn't even me having a go. I'm just interested by the lackluster shot stopping last season from Donnarumma. On the x-axis is save percentage. And on the y-axis, it's prevented goals per 90. So that's as close as I can get it to as the post-shot expected goals, less goals against. Those dotted lines represent the... excuse me. They represent the median averages, essentially. So if you are to the top right... Oh, I didn't do fucking Edison, did I? Why has Edison got higher prevented goals per 90, for fuck's sake? What's going on? Right, let me do that again. Yeah, you're right. I should have done Edison. I'll do Casio after. Let me do this one first. Let me do the top 7 leagues first, Spartacus. He's top right, by the way. Save percentage is on the x-axis. Prevented goals per 90 is on the y-axis. the further to the top right of the graph you are, the better shot stopper you were last season in the league. Look at my goat, Chevalier. Look at him. And like, you've got that cluster of David Raya, Costa, Garcia, Oblak, Courtois, Maignan, who are all above average there. You've got Edison, who is above average with prevented goals per 90, but below average on save percentage. And again, based on last season, you've got Donnarumma below average for both save percentage and prevented goals per 90. But once again, this is just based on the league, not the Champions League. So it would be interesting to see what happened if we had a Champions League, but I can't do that, I'm afraid. It only has data from the leagues. So there we go. News, we've already looked at 23-24 Donnarumma. Once again, the point is that it's just interesting to see how low it is. That's all. As I say, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just interesting to see. And for those who want to also add Casio and Trafford, there you go. Again, it makes it look really, really fucking ugly, but you still get the gist. Once again, massive caveats because Trafford was in the Championship, so whatever. But yeah, big up to Casio, man. That was a Spartacus shout. I'm assuming that he's in the... He's 38 years old. Fuck's sake, Spartacus. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me, you little rat? But yeah, there we go. Milinkovic-Savic of Torino was also well... Petrovic, he was another player who I was really interested in us getting. He's top right as well. Oh, God. Svar, the Roma player. Lots of people were asking about him a while ago. He's up there as well. Again, it's all the names that are interesting to me. Casio is not good. And yet, he's top right. In fact, I'll tell you exactly what he is. He is 80% save percentage. 80% save percentage, apparently. And the prevented goals per 90 of 0.263. So above average there. But again, different leagues. That's why I only prefer to do top 7. Because when you go into like Brazilian League and all these other things, it makes it a bit tricky. He's my keeper. That's class, Spartacus. Oh. Anyway, that's the end of the stream, and I'm going to end it. I'm now going to go live on Twitch, and I fucking mean it this time. I mean it this time. I don't know when we're going to eat tea. I'm now going to go live on Twitch. Click that link. Come join me for some fun Red Dead Redemption 2 vibes. If you still want to talk about Donnarumma, we can absolutely do that. If you want to, you know, find out more about me, the person, yeah, you can also come and do that. If you just want to watch a shit game and be shit at Red Dead Redemption 2, click that link. Until next time. Until now, because I'm going live. Thank you so much. Wait, what? This guy's the opposite of stats with the eye test. I don't know what that means, because I use both, mate. We were using it as an interesting example. Don't suck me in! Twitch is a streaming service alternative to facts. It's like YouTube, but it's more tailored towards like gaming and whatnot. You can talk about chocolate, of course. I've clicked the end button. I'm leaving, okay? Goodbye, guys.